Bible underneath my right hand, I made it out of tight jams. Guns all on my nightstand, my life should be on Vice land. My fingertips to hold the marijuana aroma. High school, I went to school high, still got my diploma. He got riddled and left alone for some Skittles in Arizona. The same time a man dies by his own for a pair of Jordan. It's crazy how we living, we all misguided children. Niggas out here getting got, trying to figure out how to get it. We the ones that's not afraid to let the hammers off. The same ones that feed the homeless with the cameras off. The life I'm living kinda hard to get a handle on, but I'm blessed and God knows I can't be mad at all.
Me and Alexis connected because she was actually an actress in our first feature film. She's gone on to play incredible roles in New York for TV and film, including House of Cards. And I really wanted to sit down and have a chat and catch up. Uncreative Radio, I am live here in Brooklyn with my great friend Alexis. I haven't seen you in freaking forever. I feel like in all these shows that I've been doing, I've been catching up with friends on camera, so this is what a way to catch up in front of the world on the internet.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
You too.
I have a lot to talk to you about.
Okay.
First and foremost, we shot my first feature with you. Mm-hmm. Years later, I'm sitting at home in my boxers. I've got some popcorn, and I immediately start texting you because I'm like, holy shit, that's Alexis on House of Cards.
Yep.
I couldn't believe that. It was really awesome. And I knew you were in New York, but I didn't know. I knew they were shooting in DC a lot.
Baltimore. We shot in Baltimore.
Yeah, and I was like, what is going on? And I was like, that's her. It's like one of the things where you're like, no, I know that's her, but like you're like, maybe I'm wrong?
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I know. So give me that whole experience. That must have been the coolest thing in the entire world.
It was awesome. I had a great time. It was Julie Schubert, who was like the best casting director ever, cast it.
Yeah.
And I got called in to audition for it. Really thought it was not going to happen.
Right.
It was one of those things you go in for.
Why did you think it was not going to happen?
Because it's was my favorite show, and you're like,
right.
Oh, like this is not going to happen.
Of course not. I like it, so I'm not going to
exactly,
get it. I'm going to get Air Bud instead. Right.
So I went in like 5 minutes from coming from the gym, so like my hair's wet, whatever. I literally
everything was bad. What did they have you read? What did they have you do?
The scene. A mock of the scene between Sean and I.
Okay, got it.
And it was much longer at that point, so we just did that as the audition.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then what was the moment like when they called you and said you got it?
I went in on a Tuesday. I got called on Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like an actor's dream.
Yeah. Never happens.
Right.
But it also, I was a recast. The role was meant to be a one episode.
Right.
And
so
it was cast.
And it was right.
I don't know what happened with the other girl.
Yeah.
But I got lucky.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then you got to be a part of this most incredible show that was, at the time, that was the show.
Yeah.
There was no other show.
100%.
And it was, House of Cards was cool because it was one of the first, like Spacey and House of Cards, that was like one of the beginnings of doing dope cinema on like Netflix. Now it's like becoming obviously a thing.
Right.
You got billions.
It was
and all
the original.
But it was like and it wasn't just like, oh, there's a show on it. It was like the show.
100%.
Unreal. So you did that, and then you got in a couple episodes, and it was just a thing. It was another reoccurring role.
Yeah, they were great to me. They kept writing the character in. I got along with all the producers, which was nice, and everyone was amazing.
That's so great. That's so great.
Yeah, I was very lucky.
And then it's so odd because I think you were in such a unique position with that show, is because that was, what was that, season 5? I'm trying to figure out what happened in season 5. That was season 5 when it was like on top of its game, and it was like, oh my God, this thing is building.
It came back.
Right.
I feel like because I was obsessed with the show, but I remember season 4. I was like, And
right.
But who's not going to want to be on the show?
Yeah, of course.
Season 5,
you
could feel it.
You could feel
it went back to like
it went
the
back
original.
to that. Yeah. It was getting it's getting real tense. And then you're on the show, your character. I thought it was just so incredible. And that season was like the height of the heights. The next season, Kevin Spacey goes all these allegations, and it's just it's over.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I didn't work with Kevin at all.
Sure.
So For me, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like,
but as far as like the show was, how, like, you know what I mean? Like, how was it like?
It came out, I think, right before we knew if I was coming back or not.
Right.
So I was still unsure. And then I remember calling my manager and being like, what does this mean?
Right.
And I don't even know what to say about that whole situation. It's a horrible thing. Apparently, charges were dismissed or dropped.
Recently the charges were dismissed. But it was like, I can imagine being part of that show.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, well, this is not good.
I was never, for me, I was never on set when he was on set.
Sure.
So I don't know what the energy was like when he was there.
Right. But from a standpoint of like, you as a working actor, this is like a potential great job for you. And then, and then with all this stuff happening, that could impact whether you were on set with him or not. It could impact you being a part of the show.
100%.
And
100%.
Did you watch the last season?
I did.
What did you think about it?
I love Robin, so of course I was gonna.
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, it was different.
It was.
And it was hard because
very hard.
it was so about him.
Yeah, it was his show.
Yeah, and I think they didn't give Robin enough credit. You know? She could have totally held that on her own.
But I thought it was hard because I didn't think they gave her she obviously had a great role in it, but I thought they didn't do enough with her character. So by that time when she took it over, it was kind of like I wanted more because her character was always badass from the beginning.
100%.
You just kind of wanted some more from it, I think.
Yeah. But I think I've heard that maybe they're going to do spin-offs. I don't know if that's still happening. Yeah. I don't know how much was ruined, I guess. Right. Because
what do you think about all that? Like, what do you think about Kevin and the whole thing? And just
you're
like, what can I think?
I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible.
Yeah.
I think it is the culture of Hollywood, or how it was.
Do you think it is the underbelly of Hollywood? Do you think just like all this Weinstein stuff and everything that's coming out about the Brett Ratners of the world?
I don't understand why anybody acts surprised.
Right.
I mean, I think from a young age, like when my parents knew I wanted to do this, casting couch was like something people knew about.
It was but it was also like the name of several like funny bits. And like there's a bit in Toy Story that they have like a casting couch bit. In Toy Story.
Wait, what?
Do you not know about this?
No.
Pixar and Netflix recently edited that scene out, but it was with Woody's, it sounds so stupid saying it, but it was with Woody's, the old fat guy. He's in the box and he's interviewing these two Barbie girls. Just Google it. Look up like on YouTube. Look up like casting couching in Toy Story. It was a joke. It was like a joke that they thought, this is funny. Let's put it in Toy Story.
I don't remember that, but I will look
that up.
Because, but yeah, that's the thing.
It was part of the culture.
I don't get when everybody has said.
So you feel like it's kind of like you feel like it's like when white people are like, oh man, I can't I can't believe this is happening to you guys. You're getting pulled over and harassed. We're like, yeah, that's been happening the whole time.
No, because it's one thing to say in white people, with the
white boys, hey,
when they haven't experienced it, everyone in Hollywood knows about. Like, It's like people who had experienced it were saying they were surprised, and I was like,
you've been a part of it,
right?
That's wild.
I didn't understand why people were shocked.
How do you hold your own in Hollywood? Like you're an actress. You've done some of these roles. You know what the industry is like. How do you approach it differently, especially as a female? Like, how do you navigate those waters? And is it just those people, like the bad guys are gone, or is like we only heard about those cases?
I think there can't be that the bad guys are gone.
Sure.
I think maybe people are sneakier about it or are changing their ways, is what I would hope. But I don't think... I'm pretty oblivious to everything, so my boyfriend laughs all the time because he's like, that guy was hitting on you the whole time you're talking to him, and you're just like, ha, ha, ha.
You're like, what? Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, unless someone is clearly inappropriate with me, I don't assume that is their motivation.
You assume positive intent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I've had to deal with it, really.
That's interesting.
So maybe I'm just lucky.
Right. I also feel like people couldn't put you in that type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know many people, especially like black women, that could just be like, hey, if you want this job, you're gonna like. I feel like if anyone ever approached you like that, you'd just be like, get the fuck away from me.
Right,
what are you talking
exactly.
about?
I think there are certain situations also. You've heard the stories where people said that they went into hotel rooms. Like,
Yeah.
no, you can't audition. I'm not auditioning in a hotel room.
But
with
like,
just you.
but why are people doing that? Because it's like Harvey Weinstein, the biggest movie producer.
Yeah, I think that.
And if I don't do it, I won't get the part.
Right. I think that is the thought process.
So that's rough though.
Yeah.
Like, because on one hand, if he is saying, come up to my hotel room at 2 a.m. for an audition or to read through, he's a scumbag.
Right.
Like, he's the worst. He's using his
But
power.
you make a choice.
But you also make a choice
Right.
to go.
I agree.
So that's where I feel like it gets kind of weird. Like, you could have said, nah, I'm not going to go. Right?
Right.
Right.
Yes.
But that didn't happen.
Right. I think, that's you either go or you don't.
Right. And then what does that mean? And like I think about it all the time. Like if people put you in these compromising positions, that does make them scumbags for sure. But also at the same time, it then makes you like, hey man, the power is still yours to be able to. Like I think it makes women look weak. I think it makes women look weak for the sense of, oh, if a man says do this, women will just do it. They're powerless. They don't know what's going on.
I don't think that that's the case. I do think, yes, there are sometimes that people are just being naive.
Yes.
I do think that some people are
Some people are
naive
just
to
like,
those
dude, I didn't know.
situations.
I'm new in the industry. He's my boss. I thought that's what, I didn't know that that's what everyone does.
Exactly. And
Right.
I think there was a period of time, like I talked to my mom about it when all this was coming out. And she was like, when she first started working,
Yeah.
that was just the norm. That your boss would say things or invite you to places you didn't need to be. And you either made the choice to say yes or you set your boundaries. And she was like, not all women knew
Right.
they could set boundaries.
Right.
Or were willing to take the risk of losing their job to set those boundaries.
Right.
So I think some women don't know, and some make a choice that getting to that next level in their career is worth it.
Right.
But I had a teacher in college who always said, you can only fuck your way to, can I say that?
Yeah, you just did.
I was like, you can only fuck your way to the middle.
Right.
So where do you want to be?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I don't know that that's something everybody thinks about, but he
Right.
said that to us, and
Right.
I always thought, I mean, I wouldn't do that anyway.
Right, but you look at like a Viola Davis and you're like, she has so much talent, she's so respected, and she's at the top of her career because she's talented. And I don't think you know what I mean. I don't think that like that true talent you can't hide that. Like
Right.
that's coming out.
Right.
It's regardless of however you want to look at it.
Right. But I do think I think personally at the top, it's not always the most talented person who's there.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Look at The Rock. The Rock is not a good actor, but The Rock has same with Kevin Hart. Like,
great personality and knows how to use it.
and knows how to use social media, has rallied all these people and fans behind, is awesome. But don't sit here and tell me that Kevin Hart's a great actor.
Right.
Like that's
Right.
ridiculous.
Exactly. And I think it's harder now with social media and stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily matter that you're talented.
It doesn't.
It matters that you are going to make the money.
You're looking at The Rock and Kevin Hart, and then when they do like Jumanji, they're doing that one together. They collectively have hundreds of millions of people that are already signed up for the movie. Like they're doing it, and they're actively promoting it to their fans throughout the entire year with
Exactly.
clips and behind the scenes. So
Well, remember when those emails were coming out?
which ones?
The-
Sony?
Was it Sony?
Was it Sony that?
Where they were like talking shit about
Oh,
Kevin Hart.
oh,
and, like,
yeah,
They had
yeah,
ones about Angelina
yeah,
Jolie.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
everybody knows what they're doing. You know,
Right,
they're
right.
like his email in particular was something about this like untalented little shit
Right,
thinks he should get.
right.
And it's like, but you still paid him millions of dollars to be in your movie
Absolutely.
because you knew you were going to make millions of dollars off of him being in your movie.
Exactly. You
So-
got him for that very reason.
So like, why is he a little shit?
That's weird.
Yeah.
The industry's weird.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yep.
Very
hard.
What do you think has been the greatest moments for you, and what are some moments that have been tough?
Greatest moments. Shooting House of Cards was awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly.
They said you told me a weird story about how they, even on that scene, you guys are in bed kind of chatting through your scene. Your scene is kind of like that. But when you
Yes.
got there, they were like, "Oh yeah, we want you guys to fool around a little bit or something."
Yes, that was weird.
And they didn't tell you about this. It's not in the script.
It's not.
But you showed up on set and you're like, and how do you navigate?
Well, here's the thing. There was a situation where I was naive, and I should have said, "Is this necessary?" It wound up getting cut because it wasn't necessary.
Right.
Like, I know you could feel the room was sort of like uncomfortable with how far it was going.
Right.
It is me and Sean, the other actor, did not talk beforehand about how far it would go. Also, because we didn't know that was something
Even going to be planned. It was even going to happen, right?
The scene ends the way it's written, with us like making out. Like that's it. Like
right.
it was implied. The way the scene ran, is the way
it was written. Right. Like, and they're like, yeah, we just want to take his pants down and blah blah. Right.
I wasn't uncomfortable at all, but it was
the not knowing.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna do a scene like that, you go into it differently.
Yes.
Like I assume, like if you're gonna do a scene where you need to abuse your 8-year-old son, I need to think about that and wrap my head around it and talk to Sean about it and make what are our parameters here and figure out what we're doing.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, hey, Alexis, we want you guys to just keep going.
But our wardrobe was the best because they made sure I was like fully covered.
Yeah.
They were like, so these are all, they brought me like 40 options of underwear.
Oh, wow.
Because they were like, these are the ones that are like a little smaller, but we bought you like 40 others that cover everything so you feel comfortable.
That's cool. You have people in your corner that they're like, I see what you're doing. Here, wear this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that makes you feel. That's interesting. It's so wild. And I tell people all the time that when you're shooting scenes like that, it's the most unsexy thing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you have so many people in the room.
Well, we were on the stage for that. So it was small.
Yeah.
It was freezing. And it was the whole team that was shooting. You rehearse first.
Yeah.
Is standing there
Just standing
in a
there.
line. And you're just like.
They're like, all right, go ahead. Just run it through real quick. And you're like, okay, well, go ahead.
And it was really funny because our stand-ins were like watching. But every time they had to readjust the camera and stuff and they were in our places, they were like, nah. They're like, we're not doing all that.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit here. We're going to be doing this.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really funny to see them be like, and then they go like this.
Yeah.
And
then here, you guys go with the lights. Okay, cool, we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, but it is what it is.
And you've been based in New York for a really long time.
Always, born and raised.
You feel like are you New York for life? You ever feel like going to LA?
I've had thoughts about LA.
Yeah.
But I don't like LA.
You're the second person to say that today.
I really don't.
And look at the look on your face.
So many of my friends live there and they love it, and
Yeah.
I just can't stand it at all.
Do you remember what? Give me some why don't you like LA?
I feel like everybody wants something from you in LA. Everybody's in the industry in LA in some capacity. And a lot of, like, not that it doesn't exist in New York, but they're one-uppers.
They are one-uppers.
It's like, oh, you just did House of Cards? Well,
I just actually was.
I'm on season 7 of House of Cards all season.
Yeah.
Okay, great. There was, like, okay.
It's weird. Me
Like,
and
good
Kevin.
for you.
Yeah, me and Kevin Spacey. I wrote House of Cards actually.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really not my thing.
Do you think that when you're on House of Cards, and remember all the equal pay stuff was coming out, Robin was on the same amount of episodes as Spacey was and all this stuff. What do you think about that? How is the pay going? What is equal pay like? Are you experiencing different things like that in the industry? Like,
I don't think I'm at that level.
Sure.
So
You're at a level where you're just like, hey, I want to get working, and here we are.
Right,
What do you
right.
think about that, though? Like,
I think it's unfair 100%. I think I can't necessarily fault the actors who are getting paid more
Of course.
because part of me is like, so their agent negotiated a really good deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't
Better
necessarily
negotiator.
think it's, right. I don't necessarily think it's their fault, but I do think a lot of actors have come, like Octavia Spencer was saying that people have fought for her to get equal pay.
Right.
And I think that's a responsible way of being accountable for what's happening to your fellow actors. But I don't necessarily think it's the actors' fault themselves. You know what I mean?
yeah. Do you feel like, and she's a great example because she has been somebody that has been awesome from the beginning. And everyone kind of basically slept on her. And now, just now, she's like leading roles now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like,
But still, she says that people have to say, like,
Yeah.
I won't do the movie unless she gets paid what I do.
that's crazy.
And that to me is crazy. But
That was
I don't know. I don't know why that happened.
It's interesting. Like you watch these shows, these older movies. Like I was watching Syriana the other day with George Clooney, and Viola Davis is in that. And you start going back that IMDb page, is like but it's just recently where you've like How to Get Away with Murder. Or for the Help for both of them, and then How to Get Away with Murder, but now people are paying attention. But she's always been great.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
And she's been around for a long time.
And now that she's so great, and now that she's on that level, now it's like, can I just get paid what I should get paid?
Right.
And then now it's like. I almost feel like Hollywood is more like you should just be grateful that you're there.
Right.
We'll pay you whatever the fuck we say we're gonna pay you. So I think that's like.
But I think the difference is now there are people like Denzel Washington, like producing his own thing, own work.
Yeah.
There are people of color, men and women, doing it themselves.
Absolutely.
Where they're making sure that is less of a standard.
Are you a fan of all this Netflix, Hulu, Showtime, and all these independents? Amazon is making original stuff.
I'm a fan in the sense that it gives it more work.
Yeah.
There's no way anyone can watch everything that's coming out.
Not a chance.
Or even know everything
Not
that's
a
coming
chance.
out. And I find that there's a lot of shit coming out versus quality.
Mark was telling me about like Dame Dash's channel, and
I didn't know he had a channel.
Yeah, he has a whole thing. I mean, there is so much stuff that's out. You're right.
Exactly. Like I didn't know he had a channel. Like you know what I mean? It's just I find that I'll get on Netflix. I love Netflix. I've always been
That's your platform.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Also they hired me, so like
hey. That's like pretty cool at the end of the day. It's like, yo, I've been on the payroll.
Yeah. So, but still on the payroll. Those residuals are nice.
Hey, girlfriend, tell them about it.
But I think sometimes I'll scroll through and I'm like, I can't figure out what I want to watch.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many options that I'm overwhelmed, and I wind up like I have a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
I wind up just like buying a movie that I know is out for like the $7.99, and I'm like, cool. I'll just
because you just don't feel like searching.
Yeah, I get tired of searching, or I wind up being like, forget it, I'm not watching anything. Then I'll like go on my computer.
Do you watch roles and you see other people and you're like, I could have played that role?
I don't do that as much as my parents do that.
Do they text you?
Yeah.
You could have been in that scene. That could have been.
100%. I get calls. I hadn't watched All American.
Yeah.
On the CW.
Okay.
My mom is obsessed with it.
I got it.
And from the first episode, she was like, I can't believe you don't watch this show. I can't believe you never auditioned for this show. Like, screaming. First of all, I'm 30, and they are 17.
17, 18.
But, like, whatever, Mom,
Yeah,
she's right.
Thanks for being
your
happy.
encouragement.
How many calls did you get when you were in House of Cards? How many people were just like, hey, I get it. Like, I was one of those people.
A lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
I bet, man.
It was very funny. A lot of people were like, hey. Some people were, hey, congratulations. Some people all of a sudden wanted to meet up, and I was like, yeah, no, if we haven't spoken for years, like, there's a reason. So
so I'll see you later.
Yeah, exactly.
Take care, take heart.
And it was a little the weirdest thing for me was like people on the street. Like I had this guy like was following me around for a little while, and that was weird. So I had to like not put my location on like Instagram. Like I had to physically take it off, so you couldn't figure out where I was.
Right.
So that was weird.
That is odd. There's so many creepy people, man.
Yeah.
There's so many creepy people.
I wind up like cutting my hair right after the show, partly because of that. All I kept thinking was, this was not like a huge role where like I was super recognizable or anything like that. So what the hell did other people go through?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was
the level of scrutiny that these big time actors would go through, because people have these little cult followings like Tessa Mae Thompson and stuff like that. No one really knew about her. Then she got Creed and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But people find a little attachments to these small characters, and it's almost a little bit scary.
Yeah. It's very weird. I also had like, one of the most annoying things that has happened is my name was in an article about something that had nothing to do with me. And
What do you mean?
Like, I was at an event, and this article was to trash someone else, and they used the fact that myself and like one of my other friends who is super famous was there.
Oh,
and they
God.
used the fact that we were there as like this star-studded event. And I was, first of all, like, really, my name is so unnecessary.
Right. Right.
But two, why?
Just
like,
trying to
what-
add to the.
Yeah, it was very weird. And I got lots of texts because I didn't see the article.
And then so everyone's like, yo, why did you?
One of my friends texted me and was like, hey, look what I saw. And I was like, oh, weird. Yeah, I went to that event because I didn't read the article.
Right.
And
so
then,
you just thought it was just a photo of you guys in an event, no big deal.
yeah, I got a call being like, no. This article is trashing one of my other friends
Yeah.
that wound up being, and is saying that you were a witness to this whole
And you're just
thing.
like, I took a photo. I don't even know what you're
It
talking
wasn't. Luckily, there was no photo of
that's
me
good.
up,
It was
but
just
it
your
does
name was in
come
there.
up. Yeah, like my friend was like, I just googled you to see if it comes up, and she's like, it's literally the first thing that comes up. is
That's
this article.
crazy.
And it's just dumb.
Were you while you're acting and stuff? I always think it's so curious. As a director, I don't really see this so much, but as an actor, I'm sure you guys go through this. You guys have relationships that you're dating while you're doing these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Is that ever difficult when you're doing different scenes, all these kissing scenes and different scenes like that, or is it like, is that ever the point of contention, or is it just like, no, it's just part of the job?
I've had exes who like are not in the industry, and it's annoying for them. Yeah.
Right.
But
It's just not a thing.
for me, it's just like,
This is a job.
it's my job.
This is a job.
Yeah, you either understand it or you don't, and it is my job, so it's not going to change.
What do you feel like? As you look to like social media in the industry, do you feel like that helps, or do you feel like it's different? Do you feel like it's
Just social media. help?
yeah? Like, do you feel, as far as acting in the industry is concerned, like you look at like the Rocks, the Kevin Harts, like is that is like a whole different way the industry.
I'm sure it helps some people. I'm not a really big social media person.
You're like,
I hate it.
I haven't posted in. That's how I am.
I like hate
Yeah,
social
same.
media. I frequently block people. Like if I don't know you, you get blocked. Like
Yeah,
it
like-
just, I'm like, oh no.
Right. Oh God, people.
For whatever reason, my team decided that I had to have a public
Yes,
page, and so I just went blocking everyone.
So how do you feel when you're posting? What are you posting? How are you doing this? Are they like, Alexis, you need to post. Come on, we need to get your.
No, luckily they're not crazy
good,
like
good,
that.
good,
But it had to be public was an agreement, and I had to have Twitter, and so now luckily they attach to each other. So I'm like, oh, this is going on Instagram, but
That's so interesting.
But I think it's just I'm not good at social media. It's
Right.
not something I'm more private. I think.
Yeah, for
than
sure.
A lot of people, so it's just not my thing. At all.
What's your ideal? What's your ideal like gig? Your ideal acting gig? Something you would kind of always dreamed about. Yes. Like if this role approached you, you'd be like, even a movie that's maybe been out or something, like this
Yeah.
type of role approached you, you'd be like, oh my God, this is it.
So funny that you mentioned anything Tessa Thompson does. I'm always like, yes.
Yeah, man.
So,
she's
but I
fabulous.
think something that I think is a good role for me, I would love to play an Olivia Pope type character. Like, of course.
Yeah. I want to play Olivia Pope type
yeah,
character. Like
yeah.
it's interesting when you have a character that's just like that. The guys are like, dude, I love Olivia Pope.
Yeah.
She nailed that in Scandal. I thought it was such a great role. Okay, I want to ask you this question. It's a quick question. Okay, let's just say you got this script and you knew this was going to be the shittiest movie you have ever done. But you're like, every page you're reading, you're like, this is pure shit. But they're going to pay you tons of money. Are you doing it or are you not doing it?
I'm not doing it.
Not doing it.
Not doing
They're like, hey, we're going to hit you with like $3.3 million to do this Sharknado
That's
movie.
really rude. 3.3 million. Like, come on. No, I think still no.
You think still no?
I have always said I'd rather struggle and do work that I'm proud of,
Right.
than make money and not have a real career.
Who in your family would be pressuring you to take the say like, okay, Alexis.
I don't talk to them about how much I get paid.
Okay,
ever.
got it.
That is something
That's something
I
you
just
don't. You like can't do.
lesson learned.
Because they would be like, yo, $15 million, do that Sharknado.
Yeah. But also, I just think it's more comfortable not to talk to people about how much you make.
Yeah, I think it would be really tough too to ever live that down. You're never erasing that off your IMDb.
Right.
You could easily get known
And
for
I say that now. You never know. Like, maybe I'll have kids and be like, 100%. I mean, tomorrow I could be like, I know I said that yesterday.
I remember, hey, Josh, could you delete that part out of the thing?
I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, shit changes. Like,
Yeah, but in your heart of hearts, you'd be like,
Yeah.
yo, you would rather say no to that.
Also,
and do
you're only as good as the last thing you did. So,
girl, you say that. Girl, say it.
So,
Preach.
I don't know. I
What
don't
do you
think so.
What do you think?
And don't they usually get reality stars for that anyway?
I think
it's
so.
fine.
I don't really know.
They don't need me.
I don't even know. Is reality star still a thing?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
There's still reality shows? What's out now?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Bravo.
Oh yeah, what's on Bravo?
The Housewives.
Oh, what, Basketball Wives or
No,
Real
Real
Sorry, I'm
Housewives.
sorry.
Real
It's all the
Housewives.
same to me.
Real Housewives.
This is not Kim Kardashian's show.
No,
Real
no,
Kardashian.
no, it's-
Real Kardashians. I don't know what it is. I'm trying.
What is it? Keeping Up with
Keeping Up with the Kardashians
Yes,
and the
yes.
Real Housewives are totally separate.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, Who's
They got a Real Housewives of New York.
who? Oh Lord.
They got one Orange County,
Really?
Atlanta.
Who are these housewives?
Potomac.
Who are these housewives? Give me a
Bethany
name.
Frankel is my favorite.
Who is that?
She's like the girl who started Skinny Girl.
Oh yes, I do know Skinny Girl.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
wine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, she has like
I
jeans
right by that?
now.
Oh,
She
wow.
has jeans now, everything.
Oh wow. Okay, so she's on there.
Yep.
And what she's like, hey, what are they doing on the show?
It's just like life,
Oh,
I
I can't.
guess.
I
Or
can't.
like scripted life.
Wouldn't you die if you were on that show?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. You're like, oh, we're gonna have the cameras following you around.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna walk around. I
No,
would
one
hate
of
that.
my best friends is on a reality show.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you in it because she was in it?
No, I would.
But you're the best friend. You were like, I'm not doing
She
it. I'm not gonna
lives
be.
in LA.
Okay, good. So
I'm gonna
you have the
keep that.
buffer. Have fun. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it's very
is that fair to
weird.
say that would be your worst job ever? Like, what would be the best job ever? You do something Olivia Pope. Like, what would be the worst thing you could ever do?
Maybe a reality show is what
Yeah.
I can think of right now.
I think like Dancing with
I
the Stars.
wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do something like that.
I think like Dancing with the Stars. Mark, would you do Dancing with the Stars?
I would do that before the Real Housewives.
You would do it before the Real Housewives? Why? Cause like it's still competition.
It's still competition.
You're still like at least you're doing something in art.
And at least I would have fun doing that. You know?
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Would you, though?
I don't know. They what?
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's like a competition. It's a competition.
It's a competition.
But I feel like isn't Dancing with the Stars for when like your career's
I think it's toast.
it's dead.
I think it's toast. Yeah. Like,
Right?
Yeah, you're like you like.
It's like people trying one more thing to
Yeah,
say.
I
right?
think that and like Family Feud, you're like, all right. And who wants?
Celebrities do Family Feud.
Yeah, like who wants to be a millionaire? Once you're hosting that, you're on the way. You're on the way. I'm just saying. That's a good sign to wind it down.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's hilarious. So okay. So what's next for you? You're auditioning like crazy. Like what's going on?
Well, it's July, so not really.
What season? When does it start?
Pilot
Yeah.
season. It's weird because there really isn't a pilot season per se
Right.
anymore, but usually February.
Right. So it'll
That's
get
when it
right. So
starts
right
to
now
get
you're
really
just.
busy.
So now you're cooling out and you're maxing.
Yeah, I have like auditions here. I'm lucky. My team makes sure I audition probably once a week.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky in that way.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But I also, you do it for a while, and there are casting directors who you have really good relationships with,
That
and
will
I've been
call-
very lucky.
Yeah, man.
That they're casting great things. So I'm constantly.
Do you feel like the work that Hollywood's putting out, like we were talking about Netflix and HBO, do you feel like now that there's more, do you feel like more is better or more work is worse as far as quality?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
I don't know.
Neither do I. I mean, every time Mark and I are talking about a new show, we will talk about one that's great and then like 15 that are just
That are
like
bad.
trash.
Yeah, I think I don't watch a lot of TV, to be honest.
Same. Well, do you even have TV, or are you talking about Netflix? Do you even have a TV in your house? Like,
Yeah,
do you have
yeah.
channel 4 and 5?
Oh, no.
Right, no cable, no, okay, right.
We don't do that.
Just literally Amazon
Yeah, we
Right.
use the Fire Stick
for everything.
My parents have cable, so I use their password when I want to watch it.
Do you have a Netflix account?
I do.
Oh,
I
like
do.
Alexis's
No,
Netflix account.
Nope. I don't know why you asked that. Of course I don't.
Does anyone have a Netflix account? Like that's yours? Like
What do you mean?
do you have like when you put it? Do you
I
pay
have-
for your own Netflix?
No, my parents pay for my Netflix.
Yeah,
Because they got it first.
Yeah. Do you have your own?
Like the only person that does.
You pay for a Netflix account?
Like 8 people using my Netflix account.
How many people can use a Netflix account?
Right. I'm like, you should share.
Who do you pay for a Netflix account? Yeah, I pay for mine. Like Katie has her own. E? You don't. You got somebody else's. Wow. What about you?
That's crazy.
I don't pay for my own.
Dude, I don't pay for my own.
But I pay for like other ones.
Yeah, I pay for HBO. What do you pay for?
HBO.
Yeah,
we
we-
have
yeah.
Stars. I don't know why we did Star. I don't know why I said that because
Okay.
who knows? It could be high. You're like, don't.
You're like,
don't mess up your potential.
That's
There's
so
a few
interesting.
that I do pay for, and then my family uses those. So we
Right.
Like,
But even that, like, I feel like you got Netflix is obviously a huge platform,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just still feel like there's just so much stuff that's not on.
right.
Crazy to me. Dude, Netflix reminds me of the last thing I want to talk to you about. Did you see all that stuff with Monique?
With
And
Monique.
and she was Monique wanted a comedy special. Do you see all this stuff, Mark? And then they paid her like $500. They wanted to pay her $500,000. But then Amy Schumer for her comedy special wanted to pay her like $11 million.
Netflix? No.
$11 million. And they were like, and they were just like, and so she was like, boycott Netflix, this whole thing, because she thought it was an equal pay thing. Do you think that's like an equal pay thing? Like she was making it a race, gender, like this, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle got $20 million.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Amy Schumer got $11 million, and then they offered Monique $500,000.
Well,
What do you think? It's like tough. What do you think?
When's the last time you were relevant? Like, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I didn't want to say it. But really,
I'm just saying.
yo,
it's not a race thing. It's not a woman thing. Like,
it's just like,
come on,
come on.
And maybe the argument is that Dave Chappelle fell off, for years, but he's
Dave's
still Dave Chappelle.
Dave's always been that dude.
right.
Dave
and
sold out Radio City.
Yeah, no, it's not about that.
Yikes! I was catching it. She's tight about that, man.
Plus, her boycott backfired and got her blacklisted.
Well, you
Oh,
don't.
did it?
Well, you don't want to boycott. Like, you don't want to be like boycott the electric company because then they'll just turn your shit off.
Right,
Right.
right.
So I don't know. That's
I
kind of
also
tough.
just think, why wouldn't you just take the $500,000, do it, and hopefully your profile is upped? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, man. When like when you're in the biz, and I don't know anything about Monique, but when you're in the biz, when you're starting out, you do what you got to do. You
Right.
take the money, blah, blah, blah. Then you get it to a certain level, and you're like, I know what I'm worth. And then that's for them to figure out. I don't know. She got to a
Right.
point where the $500,000 wasn't like, this is not what I'm worth. I'm worth something
But
more.
I think it's more so that she probably heard what everyone else was making. Also, you went to them, is the story?
yeah,
she went to them
I have no
asking?
idea. I have no idea.
I think if you're going to Netflix asking
Problem.
them for a special, having seen how many other
Right.
actual stars
Right.
they've gotten,
Right.
and yeah, they pay them millions of dollars. I think that's crazy. I'd still think the fact that like Dave Chappelle, what did he get? Like $30 million for that?
He got $40 million for 2 specials that he already had shot.
Yeah.
He just basically mailed them a VHS tape.
I mean, good for him.
Good for him, right?
For him.
That
I
would
don't
be-
know where Netflix gets
That would
money.
be like you saying like, "Hey, Alexis, give me your poems from 6th grade. I'll pay you $20 million."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Here."
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Here.
Yeah, I
Specials
don't know.
were the most viewed specials on Netflix.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah,
They were good.
and he was good.
Calculate the new subscribers they got off of that and stuff. I mean,
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe Monique's would have been dope. I don't know.
or not.
It
Oh damn.
might have been.
Oh,
You never
damn.
know. Like maybe she would have worked real hard on it, but like I don't think her like saying boycott Netflix.
It
I
was-
hadn't even heard about this. That's how.
Are you
hot-
serious?
Like that's how irrelevant.
Alexa,
it is.
yeah. You're like, that shit is so washed. I don't even know about it.
I've like never heard about it like at all.
Oh man. Navigating Hollywood. Tell everyone where to find your boring Instagram account.
Oh. I was like, what? It's officially Alexis Nichole.
That's it. Find her. She's one of the most talented actresses I know. Watch her scenes in House of Cards because she's still collecting that check. Go watch season 5, my friends. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Talk
this
soon.
was fun.